And we are back with the biggest day ever of the year so far, in my eyes here, Cougs. And it is August 2nd, so you already know where I'm going with this. And it's none other than DeGrom Day. That's the biggest day, right? For me personally. There's nothing else going on.
That's it. No other big news, big stories. Nope.
Nothing else is going on. That's it. It's DeGrom making his season debut against Washington. He's going to face like this beast of 3-4 with I don't know who the hell is going to play right field or first base, but he's going to face the Nationals with less than Soto and Bell. But how about it? Trade deadline is here. We are recording this being an hour away, so we might just talk about anything that breaks within the hour on the podcast. But let's just start with it.
Keeping our eyes on it, yeah.
Let's just start with it. I mean, I know we're MLB Show podcast, but we're baseball fans in general. How about it? Trade deadline. Not only that, just the Soto news today. Padres are just going. I saw a comment. I think it was from Adam saying that the Padres has forced trades on. That's how it feels right now.
Yeah, it really just feels like they're doing whatever they want. And you know, like to get a haul like they got today of Soto, Josh Bell, yesterday adding Hader. They also got Brandon Drury as of like maybe 20 minutes ago. Like, you know, they're going all in, and they have these prospects that they're willing to give up, which I like. You know, I feel like prospect hugging can only get you so far unless you are absolutely positively sure that these guys are going to be like actual big league studs. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't take the chance to try to win right now, especially with expanded playoffs. You know, there's more wild card teams. It just makes too much sense. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, it sounds weird, but I kind of wish the Angels would have done something with moving Ohtani or moving Trout or whatever. I know Trout has the back thing, but I want to have some faith about the future for my team, and I have nothing right now. So.
I feel it. I mean, Syndergaard's still out there. We'll see if someone pulls that. I mean, I know the Blue Jays were interested. The Phillies were interested. I would like to see them go back to where it all started at Toronto, see what happens. But it's just been a crazy day so far. I mean, just think of this. Like, later down the year, you're going to have these team teams where everyone's doing teams of all different teams. But for the Padres, man, just having Tatis, Soto, Machado, Josh Bell, Brandon Drury, there's a lot of good players that could be part of that squad right now. And on top of that, I mean, they got Josh Hader. It feels like Josh Hader got traded a week ago, by the way.
I know. The deadline just moves so fast.
Yep. So it's been more hectic than I thought, because at first over the weekend, it was quite slow. You hear like few things here, especially with my Mets. We got Vogelbach, and hey, we are actually undefeated with Vogelbach on our roster right now. We're 7-0. I'm not saying that's anything, but I've just had to point that out. And then we got Tyler Naquin, and then we just got Darren Ruff today. Personally, like if I'm talking about my Mets, I want more bullpen. I definitely need a lefty. If it's like a Chaffin, Soto, I don't know who else will be out there, but that's what I'm looking for. But either way, it's always fun to see that MLB news just ramped up to like 200% right now. And not only that, we got big news on the MLB show front last week, and we got one tomorrow. But let's start off with last week, and that was the big collection. And McCutchen, Retro Finest McCutchen, makes his way into MLB Show 22. And my God, once I saw that was Retro Finest McCutchen, he never had like a true endgame card where he's like a must put in the outfield. The way I feel like the previous years, it's always been solid, but never been like, oh, I'm going to put him immediately in center field, and he's my endgame center field for the rest of the year. Now, with the Retro Finance being a new series, I think it's fair enough to say that this is indeed what we want to see from this series, and see how it elevates these type of players, these type of cards you could give by this series.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was thinking in my head when they were doing the next collection, because we were talking about our predictions and stuff, but in my head, I wasn't sure if they were going to do back-to-back Retro Finest collections, because Brett was also Retro Finest and now McCutchen's Retro Finest. But if that's what it takes to give Andrew McCutchen the best card he could possibly get, I'm all in, because he always, I can't remember if he has, I know he usually gets like a 98. I can't remember if he has or hasn't gotten a 99 before, but even so, 98 cards are still very good, but it never felt like McCutchen truly got that card that really made him like a top tier player in the game. When in 2012 and 2013, when he was at his absolute prime, you know, he was one of the top outfielders in the game. I'm happy to see him getting the love, and man, this card is so good. I can't even like, first of all, I was very well prepared for the collection, so I was able to get it really quickly, and I jumped right into a ranked game. First game with him, lined out in the first at bat, a little rough, whatever. Okay. It's all good, because then I proceeded to get 3 home runs in his debut game. He went off, man. You can't really pitch to him because he's covering all parts of the strike zone. His PCI is huge. Like, this card is, to me right now, worth all the stubs that it takes to get him. And if you've been playing the game, keeping up with BR programs and event rewards and all these type of things, you should have a good chunk of cards to at least get somewhat close. Even if you're, only on Brett, you get the extra cards later on. Like, you're not going to regret getting this Andrew McCutchen card. He's absolutely, at least in my eyes, worth the stubs.
Oh, yeah. Hands down. I mean, just look at his attributes: 116, 125 for contact, righties, lefties, 106 against righties, 115, and then his fielding 94, his reaction 93, speed 87. It's just, this card is here to stay throughout the year, throughout the end of year of 22, where you can mix and match, especially when we get to the regular finest cards, but still. I always loved his swing too. He does. I feel like his cards are always underrated, because usually when he gets released, like say the Signature Series or the Awards card that he got in the past, there's other outfielders, at least 5 or 6, that were better than when he got released. And just we sound like a broken record. I say I'm going to sound like this every week. They knew the right time to release this card, and this card is just beauty. I just love it. Right. There was a little hesitant because of lag issue, depending if you have previous generations like the PS4, Xbox One, just because it's player model. There's certain player models that lags up. I haven't heard anything though from him.
Yeah, I haven't either. So. I have had no issues, no frame rate issues, nothing like that. He's been totally good for me so far, and I've used him for about like 20 to 25 at bats, something like that. Haven't noticed anything with him.
Now let me ask the question: from going from Brett to McCutchen, how big do you think it was to collect all those cards? Was it a good enough card to justify the means of this particular McCutchen?
I personally think it is, because there's other, it's not like you're not going to win games if you don't have this McCutchen card, right? I mean, there's still tons of outfielders that are great. That Julio card from the Home Run Derby is a perfectly good center fielder to use. The Cedric Mullins from the BR Flawless Rewards, you got even a guy who's a lower overall, that Ketel Marte still is a very good card. So it's not like it's not like you're gonna automatically lose every game if you don't have this Andrew McCutchen card. But if you have the means to get him, and you have the ability to play the game a lot and earn a lot of these cards through programs and grinding and stub flipping, whatever it is, I just don't think you're gonna regret getting it at the end of the day. It's like, yeah, it does cost a lot of stubs and whatever, but it's like, what else are you gonna spend your stubs on? Like, you might as well use those stubs towards a card that is one of the best in the game, if not the best card in the game. So that's the way I look at it. To me, like, obviously you don't really beat Diamond Dynasty, right? It's not really a game mode that you complete. But in the way I approach the game, I like to go at it as the goal is to complete collections and get the best cards. For some people, the goal might be build the best Yankees theme team, or just build their favorite players of all time on a team build, stuff like that. But for me, the way I like to go about it is I like to complete collections. It's a sense of accomplishment. At the end of the day, this Andrew McCutchen card is the best reward to get. He's so good. I can't stress it enough.
Now, who would you choose, Brett or McCutchen?
Man, that's a tough one. I overall I may still go George Brett just because um in the outfield you can shift guys around, and there's a lot of guys who have secondary positions. And like I said, I love that Ketel Marte. I love the Juan Soto card. I love Julio. I love Giancarlo Stanton. There's a lot of outfielders I really like using, but at third base, the only guy that's really been like absolutely locked down for me is George Brett. Third base was kind of a not a problem position, but a position that shifted around a lot before George Brett came out, and I still think he's by far and away the best third baseman in the game. Whereas McCutchen, I think he is the best outfielder in the game, but I think the gap is a lot closer in the outfield than it is at third base. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that might change come tomorrow.
I was gonna say we might see a shift in that.
Yeah, but we'll get to that later on the podcast. Let's also go over what else got released on Friday, and a new pack came, the Toolbox Choice Pack, which came out of blue, and it consisted of, I think, eight Future Star cards. Yes, 8 Future Star cards. We have 5 for base and then 3 for rare. We got Ellie De La Cruz, I guess Ronnie Mauricio type of player right there, being the switch hitting shortstop. Zach Veen, right fielder from the Rockies. Josh Jung, who I think we've seen before as a Future Star card, but now it's a 96. I think previously it was like a 92. Now it's a little bit more buffed up. Taj Bradley from the Rays being a starting pitcher, and then Alex Thomas gets his Future Star card. We saw his Prospect Series card before being center field from the Diamondbacks. That was the base round. And then for the rare round, we got Katara Diego. I probably just botched his name. That is the catcher from the Dodgers. We got Noel Marte. Even though he might be shown as a Mariner, he is now indeed a red after being part of the trade package to go for Luis Castillo. And then we have flamethrower Daniel Espinal. I'm probably botching that too.
I think you got that one.
I think I did, from the Guardians. When they first announced the Toolbox pack and they showed the base and being Future Star, I was like, okay, rare has to be like somewhere between 97 to 99. And I think a lot of the community, like myself, got hyped up. Is this now the time where we see a 98 to 99 O'Neal Cruz Future Star card? Because we never got one before, but that wasn't the case. Maybe later we'll see that, but overall, we got 8 new cards on top of the collection come on Friday. Not bad. I played with Ellie De La Cruz. He was and it really reminded me of Ronnie. Really did. Yeah. So highly recommend that card.
Was sick that year. So yeah, I get that. I just don't really get the name being the Toolbox pack, and even on the description on the pack, it says 5-tool player. Some of these guys are not 5 tools. I mean, Diego Cartaya's got 48 speed, and speed's one of the tools. You got Marte. Marte's pretty much up there. Good contact, good power, good speed, good arm, good fielding, all that type of stuff. But like, I feel like the 5-tool player Toolbox name doesn't really fit these players as a whole. I feel like they could have just called this like the Future Stars pack or something like that, and then maybe use the Toolbox name for other 5-tool guys down the line. Maybe like, I don't know, like Mickey Mantle and all these guys. Like, how cool would it be if there was a pack that just had 5 99s in it? That was like the most expensive pack in the game that gave you the best rewards and stuff with a good rare round and a decent base round. Like, I think that might have fit the Toolbox idea more than these Future Stars. But you know what, the cards are good. The De La Cruz card is really the one that stands out to me the most in the base round, and then I've heard a lot of good things about Marte. I know
Okay.
a few people have used him already and said that this card is really, really nice. So yeah, I'm cards are good.
Yeah.
Just don't really see them fitting in the toolbox pack.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's going to be like set 2 or set 3, like way you explained it. Like if it's like all those 99 cards with Mickey, Chipper, stuff like that, that feels like it will come out like during the finest drop, right? Be like
Yeah,
set 3 and be the 5 tool player type is. I even thought like when I first saw it and saw the 5 tool player, I thought of the 95 Mickey Mantle that we got last year.
Oh yeah,
I
yep,
thought
yep.
that could be like a particular card, or maybe like a Takahashi Chipper Jones before we get his 99 or something like that, like between the 97 overall. But we'll see come later down. Not saying I'm also still expecting, I'm hoping for a future star O'Neal Cruz. I really am. I would love to see what that card would be made of, whether it be like a 98 to 99, and see where it goes. But it also shows that future star cards are still going to be coming our way, which I'm completely fine with.
Yeah.
So
And
more
you know,
American.
adding 8 more future stars cards in the game kind of gives people more of a chance to get some more of those cards for the McCutchen program voucher too. So I mean, it has its value. It definitely does.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's kind of how they did with events too, to lead up to the McCutchen dropping those 2 finest cards with Bill and then Dontrell. So same here. Also on Friday, we got the roster overhaul. We got a couple new diamonds. Remember, the roster overhaul was pretty much based on advanced metrics, advanced stats to up, like pretty much how I'll even say what they say. Our players' ratings team dug deep through the data from the first half of the MLB season, and we made sweeping adjustments to player ratings. We always use advanced stats to upgrade and downgrade player ratings during the roster updates. And in the overhaul, we focus on the first half metrics to grade players' fielding and speed. That doesn't mean the hitting attributes were going to be updated on this roster update. There's a few like, what the heck just happened? Why is this person not get updated here and there? It was more so whether it was pitches, if the, say a particular pitcher didn't have the correct pitch mix, or if someone's speed should be updated, and or fielding, etc. And we got a couple new diamonds. Julio Rodriguez gets updated as a diamond. Captain Kirk gets updated to a diamond, and then a bunch of new golds. The one that stand out to me was, especially as a BR player, Sir Anthony Dominguez gets a sinker, outlier sinker, added to his card. Same with Joe Kelly and Daniel Bard. So part of me seeing that as a BR player, I was like, oh, okay. I like to seeing that.
Yeah, no, it was. I thought they were gonna do when they started talking about pitching. I thought they were gonna do a little bit more with some of the pitching. I feel like, you know, like you said, there were some players that did get the cool changes, like Dominguez and Josh Hader got the outlier 2 seed.
Yeah.
I just thought they were going to do a little bit more with like some hits per 9 and stuff like that. I was a little bit underwhelmed in that aspect, but you know, this update comes around every year. It's one that we're used to. We know kind of how it goes. So you know what, it was decent. It was okay. You know, I didn't think that Julio would go diamond based off of his fielding alone. I thought Julio should be a diamond already based off his hitting, but you know,
Yeah.
he's there. Another thing, Aaron Judge went up to a 94 again, but he got a boost to his base running aggressiveness of all things. It had nothing to do with his fielding or his hitting, just base running aggressiveness. And now he's back up to a 94. So yeah, interesting update. I can see why some people might have been a little underwhelmed with it though.
Yeah. For sure. I'm not sure if I know there's a roster update with tomorrow's player month update, but I'm not sure if that's any attributes based like hitting or so. I'm not sure if it's just transactions.
Yeah,
Or
I would think it's just transactions because
yeah,
it says trade deadline deals in roster update. So.
yeah, with everything going on right now. So yeah. We also we mentioned last podcast that we were getting a mini Minoso program where we get his 99 signature series from being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So solid card. If you especially need a free 99 card, if you need a signature series card, like how Cougs mentioned before, if you need these particular cards to collect for the collections, for the Brett, for the McCutchen, here's a nice easy one that you could get free. And you could even plug him into left field if you want to and see how he goes. Has high contact. It's very Jackie Robinson-esque with his card. That's how I could compare it to. Anytime I see like in the teens, like the 100, like 110s contact and then 80 power always reminds me like it's a Jackie Robinson-esque card. And that's what it is.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm with you on that for sure.
And we actually should get another one that's similar to Jackie Robinson, and that's the Craig Biggio tomorrow.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot about that.
Exactly. What you just said right there speaks for itself. I forgot about that card. You know. Yeah. I've said my piece on this many times. There's no reason.
I think we all did. But to be honest with you, I played with Craig Biggio. I usually never hit good with him, but I mean, this is only BR, of course. But I actually really enjoyed using his card this time around. So I would definitely give it more a go personally. See how it is. Would he replace, like, say, Jackie for me? Probably not. But if I don't have Jackie and I could get Craig Biggio and plug him at second, I would. That's where I'm pretty much set. Like, if I have tier rating,
he absolutely still has value, of course. Like, if you don't have Jackie, he's perfectly fine to use over there at second base. If you don't have a guy like Mike Napoli, he's definitely a guy you could rock out there at catcher. But yeah, I mean, if you have those other cards, Craig Biggio really doesn't excite you as much as maybe you would have hoped from when he was originally like announced in the game back at the beginning of July. So yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna use him. I'm still gonna get him. He's gonna be part of the program, you know. So he's gonna end up in my inventory regardless. But I just wish I was a little bit more excited about him, you know.
Yeah, I feel it. That's why we kind of beat over the head now, just where we would like to see that being released a little bit sooner. That means we get a new one tomorrow too to see who it is, and we won't get it until September. But
yeah,
I'm curious who's that going to be for the Legend Flashback Lightning card come for, I guess, September. September. So yeah, and then we also got a new headliner. And I think he was introduced as a new legend a year or two ago. Houston Street. We got a Retro Finest Houston Street making his way, same year as McCutchen with 2012. I really loved his milestone card last year with Houston Street. And I mean, now he has 125 H per nines for this card. I am excited to using this card personally. This is a card that actually got me excited. I probably one of the few because his name is not like, it's not like, say, a Raleigh Fingers type of name, but I feel like he could contribute just as good as a Raleigh Fingers card.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. Yeah, he's just one of those guys that kind of works like in that aspect. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes. I'll definitely be using him BR. He's a type of guy that I'm going to be probably looking to use in the next circuit. Like I'm already like, dude, I'm at the point, speaking of the circuit, like I know that it's going to be in the fall, but right now I don't want to play with Live Series Trout right now because I barely have him paralleled. I have him paralleled to 2. So he's a 92 overall right now. And he plays as a, like, usually when he's up on IE, he plays up as a 94. So he's below that 95 range. Yeah. So I'm like, this card could be sneaky for me for the next circuit. I don't know. I'm weird like that, but
I feel you have to, if that's what you're planning on doing, you have to kind of keep that in the back of your mind. I mean, I've used so many, like if I were to play in the circuit, there would be a lot of cards that I wouldn't be able to use just because of how much I've played with these cards, whether it's events, ranked seasons, or whatever. You know, it is something I hope they maybe tweak for the next one. But if they go off the same rules, yeah, it kind of forces you to change how you play and change the you know, the structure of your team to make sure you're still able to actually get those cards in your lineup. So I feel you there.
Yeah, I don't even play with Marte.
Yeah, I can't. I just got
I
him Super
bet you.
Fractor. I could never do that.
So good. But yeah, there's a lot of new content that came last Friday. I mean, we kind of already know what the best card is, being the McCutchen. Was there any other cards? How many Future Star cards have you played? Just the Delaware Cruz, right? They were saying.
Yeah, just him, but that was in like an event game or a BR game or something. I haven't used any of those new guys in ranked. I was tunnel vision on McCutchen when he came out on Friday. So
Yeah, I mean, why would I mean? It makes sense. Now speaking of McCutchen, it has to be there has to be another collection. We're going to assume there's another collection. Next one has to be a pitcher. You really sold me. We were talking last week, and we were going over our predictions of who's going to be the collection, and we brought out that one name that is due for a great card, and that was Pedro. I'm hoping next collection either it's him or we get him soon. That type of end game Pedro.
yeah, he makes a lot of sense to me as a collection reward because once again, if they go with Retro Finest, you know that's going to be the best version of Pedro. You know the hits per nine are going to be high. You know the pitch mix is going to be good. Like everything kind of tells me that he might be that guy, especially since he was a program boss last year. A lot of the times the guys who were a little bit more attainable become guys that are a little bit more difficult to attain next year, and they kind of flip-flop that. So, yeah, Pedro to me makes a lot of sense as the next collection, maybe sometime in like September, or even October. That just kind of seems to me like that's where it'll be.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
We'll see.
When did Kershaw come out last year?
That's a good question. Let's see. We got time.
When did he drop?
Just go with videos. See.
Yeah.
September 10th. Wow. No. That's all I see. Videos. September 10th.
Yeah, mine's September 16th. But I think, you know what it was? Is he came out as a collection reward when Team Affinity 4 dropped. So all the guys like Mickey Mantle and the Future Stars Julio and all those guys came out. He was a collection reward that day. And the reason I know that for sure is because I was at Clutch's wedding. I was in a men's warehouse getting fitted for my tux as that was happening. I saw the notifications on my phone. I was like, man, we're missing this, but like, let's get you married.
Now, speaking of that, like when you did Team Infinity 4, and now I'm thinking about this. Imagine with the Retro Finest now, they go into they go into September, like mid-September, and drop a Retro Finest series 99. It's like 98 or 99 of 30 teams, of 30 players for all 30 teams. And then you lead into the postseason. And then at the postseason, you have the real, like the other finest, like the live series finest cards.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, the Retro Finest, it doesn't have to be a 99. I mean, you look at Brian Wilson, he's a 95. You look at Street and Brandon Webb, they're 96. You got Dontrell, Mazeroski, all these guys at 97. So, I mean, that could definitely work. I mean, I think if they were going to do a featured program like that, they would probably be all 99s just because that's what it looks like the game is scaling towards at this point. The player of the month tomorrow will most likely be a 99 Lightning, and the next program will probably match that and stuff. So we're at the point where the 99s are imminent. So yeah, it is interesting to think though that they could add a lot of those Retro Finest type players, like a 30 player program possibly, but I don't know if they would do 2 of those because they could do a Retro Finest program, but there probably is just going to be a regular Finest program in November when Finest does eventually drop. So, I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities with the featured program stuff.
One possibility I would love to see, and it doesn't have to be a main program, just like a side program, is something about the trade deadline, right?
Yeah.
So I remember we kind of talked about this either last week or the week before on other packs we used to see in other versions of the game. And then I remember last year, I mean, in 15, they had the movers pack. I
Yes,
believe
I
that.
remember you tweeted that. Yeah.
Yes, I tweeted that yesterday. I think that when they did that, I don't remember if they released that in the beginning of the year and then updated throughout the year of what players get traded or what free agents like go to a particular team before the year. But dude, that would be dope. I mean, just another way of tackling, like it could just be like a choice pack of like, say, Hater. You could get like Hater or any other big no name Soto live series cards in a pack or something like it within a program. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I agree. I think that would be really great. I'm with you there for sure.
Yeah, just be another way to celebrate. And you know what we're close to? Oh, I forgot about that. This program that we have now ends soon, right? With the All-Star program. And what does it lead to? Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams should be the next program.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's next Monday.
True. Very true. Now, let me ask you this, because I've had this conversation with a few people. How do you feel about the Field of Dreams game this year?
Oh, I mean, now look at what the teams are.
Yeah, but let's say the Cubs, because it's Cubs and Reds, right?
Yeah.
Let's say both teams were actually really good. Would you still be as excited for it?
I don't know.
Because I feel like how they approached the game last year, just the pure, like, for lack of a better term, the pure like magic of it. You know, the players walking out of the corn, and you know, having, you know, just that whole intro they crafted and everything. It was like baseball heaven. Like, it really was. It was so well done. It was great. The game ended up being, you know, really fun, really exciting, which was cool. To me, though, I can't really see myself getting as excited for it every year. I feel like it should be maybe every 2 or 3 years, just because at some point for some people it might start looking like a gimmick. And I don't really want it to become that. I thought it was a really special moment and a really good like event that they did for baseball. And I'm worried that it could get a little bit oversaturated. It's not something that I feel like needs to happen every year, but that's just my opinion on it. I'm curious to know if you kind of feel the same way, if you're a little bit more like on like it's a fun event, let it go.
Yeah, it's just another game. Personally, you can't top last year's game. You can't top that. I don't think you ever be able to top it, just like you said. So that that already brings the expectations, like, yeah, especially the two teams we have. I don't know. Yeah, it's just, I think I would rather see it like in the beginning of the season.
Yep.
Than towards the end, because we just had the big, I mean, it was what, almost 3 weeks ago and almost a month to when the Field of Dreams is, but we just had like the All-Star game and we're kind of like, now we're getting like the pennant race. That's what I'm more excited for, like what teams are going to make it out of the postseason right now, where what's happening, like what's going on right now with the trade deadline, and just go from there. I'm not really like looking forward to the Field of Dreams game. I was last year because it was the first of the kind. I feel but it's every year it's going to lose a little of oomph to it, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit of the magic, I guess. You know.
Although I did like when they did Players Weekend at Williamsport, because then that's kind of different, because you get all those kids there. It kind of leads up to the Little League World Series like finals. I think it's like the day after of the Players Weekend type of thing. I did like that. I'm not sure if they continue that though.
Yeah, I have no idea, but it's cool. There's a lot of cool like events they could do. I don't know if they just like, I don't think they need to just focus so hard on the actual that specific one. I think there's other events they could do as well that could make it kind of fun in different aspects.
Exactly. So either way, we'll get the program for it, but the program should not be I'm not sure. Last year it really wasn't based on the teams of the game. Actually, no, it was. Didn't we get Luis, Giolito, DJ?
Yeah,
Felix,
we got Giolito, DJ, and I thought there was another one.
Felix and Clemente.
Oh yeah, but those guys were like legends. I was talking about guys from the actual game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we got. Did you? it was Tim Anderson. Yeah.
Tim Anderson was part of the game. I'm just talking about the program itself, because we got the program before the game when they released the Tops Now. Tim Anderson.
Yes.
So
correct.
So either way, that should be our next program, and then we'll get whoever the MVP of, I guess, the Field of Dreams game Tops Now. And what Tim Anderson was in 99, right?
Yep. 99 Tops Now.
Sweet. So be looking out for that. Was that on the 11th? So that's next Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. So we get the new program on next Monday, and then Thursday is the Field of Dreams game, and then probably that Friday we get the MVP Tops Now card of that game. So I'm going to just be biased here, let Ian Happ still be a Cub and go off in that game, so I could get myself a high diamond Ian Happ card. But we still got a lot to look forward to tomorrow. We get the Player of the Month for July tomorrow. And not only that, we get a Shark Map comes out tomorrow, which they were revealed that we get a Duke Snider second and half if you complete it. And then all the packs that are going to be filled in it. I expect Home Run Derby packs, All-Star packs to be in it, and a lot more stuff. We could see a market crash come tomorrow due to that Conquest map, but we'll get to that. We'll get to the results of that next week. But let's get to it. Let's get to a Player of the Month predictions. I think we could go with the Lightning card because I think it's kind of hands down choice. There's no really other choice to go with. I know Aaron Judge is having a great July. I mean, he's just having a great year. I mean, he's on pace for 67 home runs. But we can't dismiss what Austin Riley just did in July. And on top of that, just got his $212 million extension from the Braves. But Austin Riley seems like hands down, I say 90%. There's a 10% chance I could see a starter, but I'm going to say 90% it has to be Austin Riley tomorrow for a Lightning card.
I think Austin Riley is kind of like a layup. I mean, the other, if you were going to go with like a starting pitcher, maybe like a Dylan Cease.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, but like that, I think people would be pretty frustrated if that was the case. I think Austin Riley, sure, he could get a finest down the line or something like that. But if 99 Riley for his month where he had 11 home runs and 15 doubles, 26 extra base hits in this month alone. It's like, I think he set a franchise record for the Braves, and he had a 1300 OPS. Think about how good Aaron Judge's month was, right? Aaron Judge, they played, Austin Riley had 11 more at-bats than Aaron Judge. His OPS was almost a full 100 points higher than Judge, and we all know how good Judge was this month. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much clearing away Austin Riley, and I really think if they do somebody else, I think they'd be messing up really badly.
Yeah, I'm with you. I still, with Dylan Cease, I still like a Dylan Cease card. I will say that. Merrill Kelly also got Player of the Month, Pitcher of the Month for the NL. He has a good pitch mix. I'm just going to put that out there as a sinker cutter. So he'll be a nice choice to get in there. I don't expect to see another Edwin Diaz card, even though he got Reliever of the Month. His All-Star card is probably his endgame card. Is there anyone in particular you want to see for being a henchman?
I mean, I personally, in more of like a biased pick because it's really the only really bright spot of this team this month was I want to see Rengifo from the Angels, even though I don't think his card would be very good, but he did have a very solid month. If I pull up the splits right here, it wouldn't be very good power-wise. He didn't really hit the ball over the fence that much. He only had 1 home run, but he had 6 doubles. He drove in 11 runs. He had an OPS of 825. He had 4 steals. So, like, stuff like that. He had a decent month. Would it be a great card? Probably not. But as an Angels fan, we don't really have much to smile about. So that would make me at least, a little happy.
Yeah. I would like to see a Matt Chapman card.
He's a good one.
I would like to see that. Even Alec Bohm. Alec Bohm had a great July as well. for me, if it was for Mets, either a Marte, even a Lindor, a 95 Lindor, because I'm not sure. Although he'll probably get his like 99 card, whether it be Retro Finest or they bring a classic Finest card of him. I'm trying to think of other names.
I got one. I'm not sure if they would because this guy already has a 92, but I mean, I feel like Matt Carpenter's got to get something with his tenure with the Yankees. I mean,
But
this
yeah,
dude, huh?
That did I say Matt Chapman before?
Yeah, you said Chapman.
Oh, I meant Carpenter.
Okay.
It works out though. It all works out though. Matt Chapman works out too.
I'll go Chapman because Chapman was one of my picks. Yeah, no, both of them, both Matts over there at third base or at second base or whatever Carpenter's playing. I mean, dude, Carpenter's crazy with the Yankees, and Chapman has had a really good bounce back month, really big time for Toronto. They needed that, so both those guys very deserving of a card for sure. You know who else had like a decent little month that, I mean, I'm just looking at the numbers, so I didn't really watch him very much. Yandy Diaz from the Rays. Guy hit 11 doubles, had 18 runs batted in, had a 924 OPS with a 333 average. Like, you know, he's a guy that maybe could sneak in there as like a henchman pick.
Yeah. Did he get a postseason card 2 years ago when he had that like leadoff home run against the A's?
I think he might have.
Yeah. I feel like I remember using that card and actually digging in. So Santander actually had a decent July as well. I'm just looking at my switch. I'm looking at my guys like who I love to using. I would love to see him as well. But yeah, it's also Cole Irvin might be a name that's doesn't really stick out, but it's just another card I love to use. And he actually had a decent July. He had a 1.85 ERA. Gave up, I think, only his whip was 0.65. They hit 160 against him. It's just, and he has a pitch mix that works well with MLB The Show. So that could be a name to look out for, just a random name and sneak up there. Even Carlos Carrasco, Cookie had a 0.90 ERA, although he just got his prime card similar to what we saw with Carpenter and even Chapman. Chapman had what was that Chapman card? Was that second half or breakout?
Which one? The Matt Chapman?
The Matt Chapman one.
I'm pretty sure it's a 90 overall second half.
Second half? Oh, yeah. He's due for another card then.
Yeah. Looking at some other guys, maybe one from the Rockies, maybe Daniel Bard. Perfect 7 for 7 in save opportunities this month. Struck out 8 batters in 9 innings. Like, I don't know what does he have on his pitch mix on his live series? Let's see, Rockies, Daniel Bard, sinker, slider, circle change, and he does have outlier. Might be a card to keep your eye on right there. That card actually might be really sneaky good if he does end up being a guy. But yeah,
just got paid too.
It just got that nice
2-year extension.
Yeah, did they do something with one of their starters or my? Thinking no, I don't
remember.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I can't believe Herman Marquez is still with the Rockies after all this time. By the way, dude, they had such a big chance to capitalize on his trade stock last year, and he's still there. And
he's not doing as good.
No, yeah, they messed up. Yeah. The Rockies, they don't seem to know what's going on.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of Judge though, like the year he's putting on right now, just imagine what his finest card is going to look like this year, especially if he reaches up to the ability of, like, say, if he gets on the pace of 67 home runs. Just you already know that's 121, 25, 125, but that could legit, the statistics, like for a hitter, probably be the best season we've seen in Diamond Dynasty, I guess, history, like for a live series type of player.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious what happens there, and then he doesn't become a Yankee next year. But that he has to be. I can't see him not being a Yankee, but you never know.
Who knows?
But yeah, we got all that to look out for tomorrow. And then I'll see. We should probably get an update to the schedule come tomorrow because it only leads up to player a month, and then that's about it. if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah. It leads to like player of the month. We get the shark map. We get a mini seasons refresh.
Double XP.
Double XP. Yep. New BR
So that's good.
program starts in a week from today, or a week from Tuesday, like whenever you're listening to this. So you might want to jump on that. The event still has a whole week. The event doesn't end until the 9th.
Yep.
So you got time to grind some stuff out. But definitely take advantage of that double XP, because at the end of the current featured program, the All-Star Face of the Franchise, there are, I think, 2 or 3 of the Ballin' Out of Control packs. So if you're grinding this program, yeah, there's a Ballin' Out of Control at 850k, at 925k, and a million. So if you are grinding, if you're actively playing the game, there's a ton of ways to get XP in this program right now. Exchanges, 2 showdowns, 4 conquest maps, probably 5 when the shark map drops, 3 different collections, a bunch of moments, tons of ways to get XP right now. So if you haven't, get on that XP grind and make your way to at least one of those Ballin' Out of Control packs, because the last time I opened one, I got Max Scherzer and Fernando Tatis Jr. in the same pack. So they're good. They're very good.
Love it. Love it. So you heard it first. You know what to do for the rest of the week, and you'll have a lot more fun grinding the new player of the month tomorrow. Get to see the Austin Riley. Has it with 99 tomorrow? 99. Yeah, 100%. 99. And then we get to see the Retro Legend Finest, wherever that card is. And we'll be talking about that much more next week, especially with the new program as well. We'll review that program on top of the Player of the Month program and much more. And that's going to do it for this week. I think we went over everything. We got 20 minutes remaining while we're recording this of the trade deadline, so we're going to get out here, enjoy the last 20 minutes. Let's see if there's a frenzy that goes on in the last 20 minutes. Last thing I heard is the Yankees have been discussing for Pablo Lopez, Syndergaard being discussed between the Phillies and Toronto right now. There's a lot more action. I'm sure that's going to happen once we get off this, but you guys have fun. Enjoy the new program tomorrow. Enjoy grinding the rest of the week with the double XP. We'll catch you guys back here next week. Be sure to hit us on Twitter. We're at Inside the Show PC. Once again, Inside the Show PC on Twitter. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/Inside the Show. Be sure to hit a thumbs up and sub to the channel if you haven't already. You can follow my boy Kooks at Kooks46 on Twitter. Find all socials there. I'm at Scuffy McGee TV. You guys have fun grinding. Till next time, we'll catch you later. Peace out.